So what's next? If you want to read more about what's going to happen in the future, I highly suggest this book called Feed by M.T. Anderson. It was written before Facebook Feed, but it's all about a digital world in which everyone has cell phones and they're all connected to each other. It's fascinating. I can't go into it because this would take hours, so just read the book instead and you'll save yourself some time. So let's talk a little bit about augmented reality. We already heard a lot about it today, so I'm going to give a little tiny bit of it. So this guy's name is Steve Mann, and in 1981 he built an 80-pound wearable computer. He said, why do I have to sit in front of a computer like this and type? It's gross, you know? Why do I have to sit in one room? Why can't I make a computer that I can wear around town and just walk around? And so he built this 80-pound wearable computer. And it took him a year to convince somebody else to wear one of these too. He was very awkward looking for a year. So what he said is that he really didn't like certain things in reality. And he also wanted to be able to leave messages. So through his heads-up visor display, he was able to leave notes at locations. So for instance, his wife was leaving him a note at the grocery store that said, pick up the milk. So he walked to the grocery store, his heads-up display understood that he was at the store and floated the information above the store so that he wouldn't forget to pick up the milk. And he really didn't like advertising, so he made a system to block out ads and display text messages on them. So he could get text messages from his friends as he walked around town on billboards instead of seeing billboards. There's now a group that actually did this in real life. The problem is that Steve Mann, his technology costs $500,000, and nobody can afford that today. But what he said is that instead of having 80 pounds of technology, it will get lighter and lighter. And now, as you can see, in 1998, he looks kind of cool, not extremely cool, but it's a lot more lightweight. And now today, he has all of his technology into a pair of glasses. There's a video camera in one side of the glasses, there's a processing loop around the back of the head, and then the filtered reality is fed into his eyes by laser in his right eye, and it's fed in at 90 degrees, and he's gotten very used to it. But he's the world's first cyborg. Now the reason that I tell you about this is that this technology is now in everyone's pockets, except for the heads-up display. We're working on that. That'll take a long time. But everybody has a sensor in their pockets, and now they can leave notes at grocery stores and do very interesting interactive things. And this is, you know, now we can have the future at an affordable rate, almost. So first off, a lot of people think that technology is not human. But if you look at the internet is human because every single page was created by a person. Every single page is something that somebody wanted somebody to see. All of it was built by hand. All of it was tirelessly coded with HTML or PHP, and it was just, it's this very human thing. And if you map it out, this is a map of the internet, all of the connections and links, you can actually see that it looks very organic. If you map this to what a neural network looks like in your brain, it looks the same as a neural network, but it also looks the same as the universe with galaxies and gravity. So there's this self-similarity going on in our brains, in computer systems, and in the universe. So really what we're seeing is this very organic, natural thing that we think is very technological. It's just a natural extension of humanity. So connectivity is the future. So the thing is that the best design just reduces the space and time between people and lets them connect with each other better. So the idea of reducing the space between need and satisfaction. Anything that you do online, you usually say, I need something, I need entertainment, I need information. And if a website gives you a lot of trouble in trying to get there, you say, I hate that website, and it goes away. And then a better one fills its place. So any new technology that reduces this time and space ends up increasing connectivity. So this is a vest that you can wear, and the back of the vest is a bunch of buttons, so you can give somebody a massage and play a video game at the same time. So they have you have two people and then two people behind them giving them a massage, and then they're playing a video game. The thing is, you have two people competing in a video game, but two people are getting a massage. And those people playing the video game aren't doing any real work. They're playing a game. So there's two people that get benefit from that. So future technology that gives people benefit for what they're doing that might be a very boring task, like giving somebody a massage, is really interesting technology. And this happens through haptics or touch. I'm very interested in looking at this technology in the future. The other thing is that relevant information should be pushed to users. So for instance, if you get to an airport, you should get a text message on your phone saying, hey, welcome to this airport, you might want to eat here, or here's the address you need to go to, or the transportation that you need to take, instead of you having to be a paleontologist digging in your email for that address that somebody sent you 2 weeks ago. So there's lots of information, which is great. But you need even more information to understand where that person is and what information is relevant to them at that point in time. So this is a pretty crazy invention. It's called a haptic compass belt. It's a belt with a bunch of buzzers around the waist. And when you turn it on, it buzzes in the direction that's north. So you can just turn north. But the other thing is, you could program some directions into it, and you could ride your bike. And as you ride your bike down the street, it will buzz you to the right if you need to take a right, or it will buzz you to the left if you need to take a left. And that way you never have to look at a map to see where you need to go. It's all just buzzing. So instead of having a visual interface for everything, like everybody does a lot of technology with a visual interface, this is a touch interface. You can feel where you need to go. It's a different way of looking at things. So reality, video games are very successful. I think that reality should unfold like a video game. So information that's relevant to you should be pushed to you, and then some global information. But you should feel in control like a video game character instead of somebody who's dealing with very boring regular society. So for instance, if your friend is on his way to meet you, you should get a notification that he's nearby. But only if you have an appointment with him. You don't want to get a notification that everyone's nearby. Just the person that you have an appointment with. And then you can just relax. You get a notification that they're a few kilometers away. You know they're 5 minutes away, and then you can meet them. You don't have to worry for that 30 minutes that have they left their house yet? Are they stuck in traffic? And they're trying to text message you the whole time. You can't figure out how to meet with them. What about if you draw a circle around your house on a map and you say, when my GPS-enabled phone enters into this circle, turn on my lights. So I live in a smart house where when I go home, the lights turn on automatically, and when I leave, the lights turn off automatically. So you can use new technology to automate things. Like, it's a very small motion to turn on and off the lights, but maybe you forget. Wouldn't it be nice to have it automatically happen? Then you can have other things happen along with it. So you could turn on the music in your house when you get home, and the lights, and you could have all sorts of things be triggered when you get home. But talking about this with the idea of the interface, in all these cases, instead of having a button that you push, or I guess a display that you have to press, everything you're doing is an invisible action that triggers something. You don't have to see it, you don't have to load anything, you just go, and your reality unfolds around you. So that's the idea of the evaporation of the interface. At first, the interface was very solid. If you wanted a button to be in a different place, you would physically rewrite the button. Then it became liquid, and you could reprogram the button. And now it's a button that you run into in the air. So my partner and I made these location-based reminders. Somebody can leave you a note in a place, and when you get to that place again, you get the message. So I leave myself notes at the store that says, remember all the stuff that you always forget. And then I get a text message when I get to the store, hey, remember the stuff that you forgot, and I remember it. It's a way of taking your context and floating it over to the store. So for instance, if I say, I want to get butter next time at the store, but when I go to the store next, I don't remember, even if I wrote it down. This is a way of sending a message to your future self. So the idea is to make your cellular phone a remote control for reality. So remember the sensors in Star Trek? They could figure out the temperature, they could figure out pollutants, they could figure out radiation, they could talk to other people. Now we have one of these in our pockets. We are all Star Trek, apparently. We can talk to each other, but this has a lot of implications. For instance, you could take this around the city and record how loud it was, or you could fit another sensor onto it and record if there was pollution in the air. And you could visualize it and map it out, and a city could see problems that they were having and go and fix them. So to basically finalize the speech, I argue that the best technology is invisible. It's not the annoying stuff that gives you trouble. It gets out of the way and lets you connect with people so that you don't really notice it anymore. It's very well designed, very smooth. For years and years, we've dealt with very bad technology, really clunky, horrible stuff. And so that's why the most important thing in the future is to design for humans, because humans are using technology. Computers don't use technology, we're the ones who use them. So we need to learn how humans work and how to design for humans so that we have good experience with technology. So today, the most important thing is design, and that will be the most important thing in the years to come in the future. So thank you very much.